Hello everyone, this is Lan, and today I want to show you some of the early bloom flowers in my garden. Most of them are David Austin roses, and some are Quartus. I'm going to put the name of each of the rose on the screen for your reference. The pink rose we have right here is called Silas Manor. It's one of the newest David Austin rose introduced in 2022. I planted this last year as bare root and they bloom immediately after 2 months into the ground. They are very healthy as advertised on David Austin Rose website. They bloom continuously from mid-spring until end of fall. You will always see flowers on this rose. I highly recommend this Silas Manor rose for anyone that wants something carefree. Let's be honest, not everyone have time to spray the rose every single week. I know I don't. Especially after having so many in my garden right now, I think over 60. I don't have that time or resource. I used to spray neem oil on my roses to repel aphids, sawfly, larvae, Japanese beetles. But this year, I'm trying to implement the no spray garden. You see, the leaves are not perfect due to the sawfly larva damage, um, but that's okay. They don't kill the rose, and I want to see how the nature will take care of itself because if you stop spraying and use all those chemicals, the beneficial insects will take over and those bad guys will become someone's food. We'll see. I'll report back to you later on this issue. I might change my mind and spray eventually. I don't know. But so far, so good. And this one right here is called Princess Charlene de Monaco. She has a apricot pinkish color. She's not David Austin. She's a hybrid tea. The buds start out as apricot color and then turns pink like this. The bloom is very large. I would say about 4 to 5 inches. Not as many petals count as most of the David Austin, but I still love her regardless. This one gets pretty tall. It's only been a year in my garden and she got over 5 feet in height, which is good because I like to have that different in height to add the dynamic in my garden. It would be really boring if everything is at the same height, isn't it? And I hope you don't mind my narrative throughout this video because besides showing you the beautiful flowers, I also want to give you some information about the plant itself in case you want to plant it in your garden. This is Summer Romance. It is a floribunda Quartus rose, a German breeder. I started out as a David Austin rose fan, but recently I've been into Quartus roses due to the health. The canes are very strong, much stronger than most of David Austin roses out there, and it is a very hard working rose in the garden. To me, it's a true pink color. The shape of the flower is round and packed with petals. This one gets huge. It already spread 5 feet across. So if you grow summer romance, make sure you give it some room. And over here I have Princess Alexandra of Kent. She has huge blooms. The flower is a bit hot pink in the center, then it gets lighter toward the outside. Petals are ruffled. Bloom size is at least 5 inches. If you don't see big blooms on her first year, do not get discouraged. Give her at least 2 years to establish, and then she will put on a show like this. She is a David Austin rose, absolutely beautiful. Easily my top 5 English roses. Oh my gosh, I cannot get enough of her. Ah, it's a dream. Whew. Let's move on, guys, because I can't stand here all day. This one is Jude the Obscure, another David Austin breed. Love, love, love the color. A lot of people claim that she has very strong fragrance, but to me it's a very light scent. Maybe she'll get better over time. I got Drew from Heirloom Roses, en route. She has been quite finicky. It took her forever to establish. To be fair, I moved her to my new house last year and she had struggled a bit. This is her third year and I see some new growth, so I'm crossing my fingers. She seemed to like this spot. If you're looking for a white English rose, get Desdemona. She has a beautiful compact round form that doesn't require much pruning. If you have a rose that keeps throwing out long octopus canes, you know the pain. Not with this one. She's also good for a container. Very healthy leaves. I honestly prefer this one over the Tranquility Rose that I have, which is another David Austin breed. Another white rose that I absolutely adore is called Earth Angel. This is a Quartus rose from a German breeder. The petals are tightly packed. According to a seller's website, it has between 85 to 95 petal counts. I'm gonna count it myself one day when I have nothing better to do. Love the flower form. The only downside of this rose is that it doesn't perform well in hot weather and prefers morning sunspot. If you are in zone 9 or 10, maybe avoid the afternoon sun. The blooms are so heavy that they tend to droop. I don't have her at a good spot in this garden. She doesn't get early morning sun and face a scorching afternoon heat. Being in zone 6B, it seems to be forgiving. Depending on how she does this summer, I might have to move her. Besides the drooping of the flowers, she seems to be vigorous. Right next to her is James Austin, another David Austin rose. It has a pinkish red color. Smells wonderful, very healthy bush. You can tell I have a lot of David Austin roses in my garden. I love the big blooms with tons of petals. The drawback of it is that the blooms are heavy and the canes cannot fully support the flowers without our intervention. One rain pulling down and the canes are at risk of being broken. Same thing with this golden celebration and poet's wife right here. I'm gonna need to stick these up. The poet's wife has a true yellow shade, like a primary yellow. Again, I have this lady in the wrong spot of the garden. Due to the giant pine trees along the fence line, she only gets sun in the afternoon. She's supposed to be very prolific in the right lighting condition. Again, I have to move her next year. Gardening is a forever process. We learn the characteristics of each plant as time goes by. There's always something neat to be done in the garden, which makes it fun. Another yellow is Julia's Child. I got her on sale at Home Depot last year at the end of the season. I paid $17 for a 3-gallon pot. I bought her on a whim because she was packed with buds. I'm happy that I did. She's a very healthy rose, strong canes that is upright. Not as many petals as a typical English rose, but it's the type of rose that you feed it once or twice in the growing season and let it be. I have several climbing roses along this wall. The hot pink on the left is Zephyrin Rowdy. I hope I said it right. And then Eden on the right hand side, which is the princess of all climbing roses. The color is so beautiful, deep cup shape, heavy petal count. Her only drawback is she doesn't have much fragrance, or even not at all. I can live with that as long as she looks good. I need to tidy up this wall and put in a proper trellis for her when the growing season is over. And next to Eden, I have Abraham Darby. He's a David Austin rose. He's my favorite peach color rose in the garden. The bottom of this rose tend to have a little bit of black spot, I'm going to remove these leaves and see how he performs. I cannot say any other bad things about this Abraham Darby. A very beautiful flower. He will get quite large, so you can either keep him as a bush or a semi-climber. I'm gonna train him to be a short climber. This year, I ordered a lot of new roses. I now have almost 100 roses in this garden. I only show you the ones that have been in the ground for at least a year. I'm expanding the rose garden toward the back of the property. I think I'll stick to the cottage garden style or a mix between cottage style and formal garden. I still have a lot of planning to do, and I hope you can be a part of my journey. I will keep updating my garden in the process. Please let me know your questions and comments. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more plants video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.